I recently had lunch with two sales leaders who shared that their teams spend a lot of time sending FUs, and by FUs I mean follow-up, both to prospective customers and customers. Both of these leaders shared that the constant follow-ups and the low response rates from both prospects and customers alike was slowly chipping away at their team's morale and was becoming a friction point for achieving their goals. I'm not going to lie, throughout my career I've done my fair share of follow-ups backed by a hope and a prayer that the person on the receiving end would actually respond. Funny story, early in my sales career I took over someone's territory. When I opened their CRM, there were hundreds of tasks listed as FU followed by customer name. Being new to sales, I was taken back that someone would be writing FU reminders for their customers and thought, wow, this must be a rough territory, until I quickly realized that FU stood for follow-up. If you're like most, you probably spend a good amount of your time in the follow-up land, hoping to re-engage that prospect or connect with that existing customer to discuss an upcoming renewal or an opportunity. Follow-up can be downright frustrating, especially if the majority of your prospects and customers are in your ever-growing pile of follow-ups. So how can you get away from just following up or following up on my previous email for the 21st time and actually keeping people engaged? It all comes down to providing value at every step of the buyer's journey and controlling your controllables with a clear, mutually agreed upon next step between you and the prospective customer. Yep, you heard it. You need to start booking those next steps at every interaction. This one thing alone will accelerate your sales and increase your close ratios. Now, I get it. Asking for the next step isn't easy. We don't want to come off as pushy, salesy, or desperate. And before you say it, asking for the next step will not push your customers away. It will instead help you make the best use of their time. You see, prospects and customers are working with you because they need your help, and you're the solution to their problem. As a sales professional, you have a great responsibility to guide the buying decision, and part of that guidance is stepping into your leadership power. Let me ask, what would instill more confidence in you as a potential customer? A sales rep who says, "It was great speaking today. Let me send over the information we discussed, and I'll follow up in a few days. Is that okay with you?" Or the sales professional who steps into their leadership power with something like, "It was great speaking with you today. I'll send along the materials discussed, and as a next step, let's get a checkpoint on the calendar so that we can discuss any concerns and continue working towards solving your problem." Would Wednesday or Friday this week work for you? Personally, I would go with the sales professional number 2. They're not only going to send the information, but they're also going to make sure that there is a next step so that my problem is addressed. Heck yes, sign me up. If the prospective customer responds with something like, "Just send over the info and we'll connect in a couple of days," you can respond back with something like, "I will certainly send over the info. But if you're anything like me, if this doesn't go into my calendar, it won't happen. So are you okay if we get something in the schedule, and if we need to adjust it, we can do so accordingly?" At least this way, it's in your calendars and it's mutually agreed upon that the time may change. If the prospective customer is still resistant to scheduling that next step and you can't create any further urgency, I would just back off and set the expectation that you'll wait to hear from them or that you'll attempt to contact them on X date via the phone or email. If this prospective customer is still pushing back at this point, maybe you haven't fully qualified them or they're much earlier in their buying journey than you originally thought. Remember, people are busy and priorities are always shifting. It is your responsibility to step into your leadership power as a sales professional and guide the buyer's journey. The real difference that separates a salesperson and a sales professional in the follow-up game is their ability to be of service and make it easy to do business. If you don't make it easy to do business, your competition will. So as you wrap up your next sales meeting, I encourage you to step into your leadership power and establish a mutually agreed upon next step with your customer. Trust me, it's not as scary as you think, and it will help you stand out as a true sales professional and accelerate those sales cycles.